Hey, Dave Spalding, Handgun Combatives. It's been a while that we've brought a new drill video your way, so we're going to take the time to do that today. Anyone who has been in my classes, has followed any of my writings, knows that I'm a big proponent of movement in conflict. Quite frankly, movement is something that people seem to do at an almost instinctual level. But we don't want the movement to be haphazard, like lights shown on a bunch of rats and they scatter in all directions. We want the movement to be done with purpose, and our drills are directed at that end result. The drill we're going to show you today is called 10 in 8, and what that means is 10 rounds in 8 seconds. But there's also some movement, there's a draw, there's a whole bunch of different stuff that goes on. It's kind of similar to our 15 to the third drill, but it's a little more compact. There's a little bit more pandemonium in it. I think it's probably a more realistic drill for close quarter pistol craft. What is 10 and 8? Well, it takes place 5 yards back from the target. The spacing is 10 feet, 3 meters, 3 paces, whatever the case may be. And the reason for that is because of confined spaces. There's an awful lot of places that people frequent that don't have, 5 yards of distance to traverse. It may be a living room and all you've got's a little bit of space. So what we want to do is we want to do some lateral movement of the type that isn't too far, because we don't want people turning because they got to travel a great distance. We want them to stay square to the target. So we've kind of taken that distance and we've kind of shrunk it down a little bit. And instead of having you draw and shoot and then move, we're going to combine that initial lateral movement with your draw stroke. So what are we talking about? We're talking about some dynamic get off the X type movement, not that stuff you see in a lot of the classes where you're doing that redundant lateral step. That's not enough. So lateral move, you're going to get to that first position, you're going to shoot 5 rounds, and as soon as that 5th round goes, you're going to change directions back the other way as if the circumstance in your fight has changed and you need to redirect to keep yourself from getting shot, where you're going to move back and you're going to put 5 more rounds. You got 8 seconds to do that. And oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, your target is a 3x5 card, which basically represents the heart and the aorta on this target. Now, why do I do that? Well, at this point in the class, people have been shooting a lot. They're shooting at that chest cavity target. They're kind of getting a little bit sloppy. So it's time for me to bring them back down again, make them get a good grip, make them control the trigger, make them reset that trigger while in recoil recovery, go back to those foundational essential skills while adding that dynamic lateral movement to it. Let's take a look at the drill. Okay, we've got our target set up 5 yards distance, and as you can see, we've got just a couple of rocks right here. Now, understand, I'm not hard set on the distance traveled. It just has to be a good explosive lateral movement. What we want to do is we want to get that draw out and on target by the time we traverse that. For most people, regardless of age, it takes about 2 seconds to do this. So if you've got a 2-second draw while moving laterally, and when you come to a stop, you are on target, ready to shoot, you have something that is winnable in a gunfight. Now we want you to start out in a good solid fighting position so that you can push off. Doesn't matter if you start left, it doesn't matter if you start right, you can go in either direction. As a matter of fact, it's a really good idea to mix it up. So we're going to be shooting on that middle 3x5 card there, as you can see at that blue rectangle, and you're going to get what happens. We're not going to be doing this over and over again. We don't do that. You're going to see what I do. So let's take a look at that. Okay, Darren, if you come on up here. 6:95, so we made our time standard. Let's take a look. Okay. Now in my classes, if you cut the card, the shot is considered good. Now why do I do that? It's a pretty small target, so I'd like to give benefit of the doubt to the student. Well, that's the case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I got a clean run, 695. Well, Dave, you did that under 7 seconds. Why isn't it 10 and 7? Well, after having several different classes shoot this drill, with ages from everything to the 20s to the 70s, the students advised me that it would be better to have an 8-second standard. You know what? I think that's okay because we want the drill to be difficult but also doable for a wide range of students, both men and women, and from people to 21 to 80. So 10 and 8, lateral movement, drawing while you're moving, accurate shooting, redirecting the other way, a whole lot of stuff going on there in 10 rounds. 10 and 8, give it a try. Dave Spalding, Handgun Combatives. Thanks for checking in.